Recording in progress.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. And I see Rowan here. It's nice to see you here again. Long time no see. Hey, everyone. So welcome back to our second LinkedIn Live event on the ESG Talk series, Post-2024 elections. How will ESG strategies shift? I'm Nin, full name Nineveh Zoudo, co-founder at Falcor 8, and we're thrilled to have you with us here today. In our last conversation, we discussed key strategies for chief sustainability officers. And today we'll explore how the 2024 elections might reshape the ESG and sustainability landscape in the US. We'll cover the latest regulations impacting ESG, their effects on CSOs, and strategies for preparing and creating a vision for the future. At Falcor 8, we understand that innovation and strategic ideation are essential strategies for businesses to not only meet regulatory demands and requirements, but also to thrive. By leveraging these strategies, chief sustainability officers or CSOs can transform compliance challenges into opportunities for growth and competitive advantage. Today, Falcor 8 and C2 Impact will discuss potential policy changes and their implications for corporate ESG strategies. Our goal is to provide you with the valuable analysis and actionable insights to help CSOs, CFOs, and CEOs navigate this evolving landscape. We'll explore current topics on hot regulations, the newest, latest, and greatest regulations on the horizon. And of course, we'll discuss how you can adapt and thrive amid these changes. And so let's get started and have some fun along the way. Joining me are my amazing co-founder of Falcor 8, Elena Lockwood, and the brilliant Simone Schuppan, founder of C2 Impact. I'm feeling very excited to be with you all here today. Again, Elena and Simone. Elena, over to you.
Thanks, Nin. I'm Elena Lockwood, co-founder of Falcor 8, an impact innovation consulting firm that supports sustainability leaders in accomplishing their goals. I'm excited to delve into the potential shifts in the ESG agenda that we might see following the 2024 elections in the US, and talk a little bit more about how Falcor 8 embeds sustainability into core operations, core strategy, to drive long-term value on business resilience.
It's great to be here, Elena. And Nin, C2 Impact is where we help green tech companies go mainstream. So yes, big changes are possibly coming that will affect how companies handle their ESG goals. During these uncertain times, CSOs need to show how important their role is, and they can best do that by aligning sustainability with business goals and proving the financial benefits of these initiatives.
And let's get started with our first topic, hot regulations today. Elena, what are the key ESG regulations currently shaping the business landscape?
That's a great place to start. Earlier this year, the SEC issued a new climate disclosure rule that will mandate public companies to disclose their greenhouse gas emissions. Along the same lines, California issued 2 new laws requiring companies making more than $1 billion in global revenue to disclose their emissions. This includes public and private companies. The third key ESG regulation is specific to the EU, but it will still have an impact on American companies. This regulation is the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, or CSRD. This policy will require companies making above $1.4 billion in annual revenue to demonstrate that their supply chains are following environmental and human rights regulations. This has historically been a very big challenge for big companies because tracking environmental issues and especially human rights violations across the end-to-end supply chain has been very difficult. So as I mentioned before, even if this regulation is specific to large European companies, it will also have a significant impact over American companies operating in Europe. So most of our large companies. So overall, these three ESG regulations are pushing companies to keep integrating ESG into their core business strategy and operations, not just to address these international ESG and long-term value agendas and this relatively new shareholder economy trend, but also to meet very tangible national and state policies.
Yeah, definitely, Elena. I mean, these regulations are setting new standards for sustainable business operations. I mean, effective management and reporting of ESG metrics are, so crucial at this time, especially leveraging advanced analytics can improve ESG reporting accuracy and provide deeper insights into sustainability performance, helping to identify inefficiencies and areas for improving, which ensures compliance and that also aids in informing decision making. While we're on this, topic of regulations, Simone, what are your thoughts on how you see the new regulations, such as the SEC Scope 3, California, and Europe supply chain review affecting ESG strategies?
So understanding how new regulations and policies affect your business is absolutely crucial. Companies need to assess the impact based on where they operate and then their future plans. So, for example, if a company currently operates in different states in the US, it needs to consider varying state regulations. Additionally, if future plans then include expanding abroad, understanding international regulations is, of course, essential. It's really important to look where your customers are located, where production takes place, and then where your input materials are sourced. So regardless of specific policies and reporting requirements, having a deep understanding of your entire supply chain is going to be vital to adapt and make informed decisions.
Yes, I completely agree with you, Simone. I see regulations as a great catalyst for change. They will challenge businesses to better understand the needs and wants of their customers, their employees, and their stakeholders, especially the ones impacted directly by their operations and their supply chains as a whole. Companies will be driven to innovate during this period due to new regulations because they will have to adapt. That if they want to keep growing, especially if they want to achieve sustainable growth in the long run. And this means not only meeting regulatory demands, but also integrating sustainability into core business strategy and operations. So this is definitely change. Change is hard, but it doesn't need to be painful. If you have a good visibility of your business and you know where to target your investments and where you can make a greater impact, then you can manage the uncertainty, you can manage the risk, you can manage the organizational pain of exerting these types of changes. And this, in general, is nicely supported by leveraging innovation methods and good data analytics.
Yeah, it's a great way to segue into, again, providing more of the data perspective, Elena. I agree. I mean, change at the end of the day is inevitable. And, integrating advanced technologies can really help companies not only stay compliant, but also drive strategic decision-making and innovation. For example, embracing comprehensive dashboards to monitor real-time ESG performance can provide valuable insights into areas needing improvement, which helps companies stay compliant, proactive, and relevant. By using predictive analytics, businesses can anticipate future trends and regulatory changes, allowing them to proactively manage compliance and sustainability efforts. Now, Elena and Simone, back to you. How do you see these changes in funding and regulatory priorities post-elections impacting CSOs?
Thanks, Dean. Yes. Well, I think that CSOs will definitely need to navigate a complex landscape of changing regulations and funding opportunities. So even if the European landscape will stay mostly as is in the short run, the national landscape is potentially going to change. So let's say scenario one, if the Democratic Party wins, we can expect either continued or increased funding and supportive policies for ESG and sustainability initiatives. However, if the Republican Party wins, the scenario becomes a little bit more uncertain. So there could be reductions in federal funding. This could impact states that are heavily relying on these resources. So CSOs must be prepared for these shifts and uncertainty by developing flexible strategies that can adapt to varying levels of support / subsidies / tax incentives, and also regulatory mandates or even penalties.
Yeah, so the way we see it, focusing on the financial benefits of sustainability initiatives is going to be key. The CSOs should highlight how past and current initiatives have reduced costs, improved efficiency, or created even new revenue streams. So for example, one company developed a new product line using scrap materials, which increased revenue and reduced costs at the same time. And there's definitely a significant sustainability effect. It's kind of hidden, but it's very impactful. So showcasing such benefits helps secure support for future initiatives and keeps current ones going.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, all, just excellent points, and, demonstrating cost savings and efficiency improvements through data can help build a strong business case for continued investment in ESG initiatives. Let's discuss strategic adaptation, how CSOs should be preparing. Simone, what strategies can CSOs adopt to prepare for potential changes in ESG regulations?
So planning for different regulatory outcomes is important, especially because we're unsure how this will look like. So we think CSOs will benefit from developing multiple scenarios based on different regulatory outcomes and then plan accordingly. So 3 key areas to look at are funding. As you mentioned before, are any of the current initiatives relying on outside funding? And if yes, what are possible alternative ways to going forward? It's important to strengthen local partnerships and look at how you're working with local communities and how is your company impacting them in a positive way or putting a strain on them. So stay close to your company, what you do and who you work with directly. And then really important, review your initiatives and focus on those that you can clearly show economic benefits for, as I mentioned in the previous examples. Another important thing to consider is that none of this planning happens in a vacuum. CFOs and general counsels have been deeply involved in ESG over the last several years. So having conversations with them, what they are focused on, and really in-depth conversations is going to be important. Collaborate with them to align your priorities and use your unique position of being able to integrate insights from all across the company functions as well as external stakeholders.
Yes, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more, Simone. Internal C-suite alignment with corporate goals and amongst each other's roles and agendas will be key to achieving true impact for your business in the future. So in addition to this alignment, being able to keep track of your goals and your progress will ultimately drive decision-making for your company and business success.
Yeah, absolutely, Elena and Simone. I mean, real-time data tracking and, just ultimately driving that decision-making and business success through that tracking, really are vital tools and analytics for CSOs to monitor progress and adjust their strategies dynamically. This ensures that companies can stay agile and responsive to changing regulations and market demands. Moving on to strategies. How can CSOs create a future-ready ESG strategy that aligns with their company's goals and the evolving regulatory landscape? Elena, taking it back to you.
Thanks, Nin. Well, I think that CSOs should focus on creating a future vision that aligns both with company goals and the company's strategic vision and the evolving regulatory landscape that will impact their niche. This involves prioritizing initiatives that are feasible within the current and anticipated funding and policy frameworks. It is also crucial to maintain strong connections with customers, suppliers, employees to understand their needs and expectations. So, as Simone mentioned before, strategy, vision, operations, they don't happen in a vacuum.
Exactly, Elena. And innovation is going to be key to driving sustainable change. CISOs will constantly look at ways to innovate products and services to support operations and boost profitability. Integrating sustainability into risk management reduces risk and strengthens the brand at the same time, making the company more competitive. An example here is making sure your operations are able to handle extreme weather. Between floods and wildfires, this can be severely impacting your production and your customers' expectations. So using data and new technologies will be critical. So again, focus on solutions that meet sustainability goals and deliver business benefit.
Yeah. And, building on that, Simone, innovation and strategic ideation are essential for businesses aiming to comply with ESG and sustainability regulations. By embracing these approaches, CSOs can transform regulatory challenges into opportunities for growth and competitive advantage. Establishing a robust data infrastructure that supports continuous innovation is crucial. Investing in analytics tools that provide those real-time insights into sustainability performance can really help identify those areas for improvement. And again, data-driven decisions enable companies to stay ahead of the curve of regulatory changes and helping them maintain a competitive advantage. Elena, taking it back to you for wrap up and any final closing thoughts.
Thanks, Dan. Well, I really enjoyed having this conversation with you guys today. So just to wrap up, we encourage everyone to share your thoughts and questions on our LinkedIn page or send them via email. And to prepare, to be ready for our next session on integrating ESG into business operations. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you for your valuable contributions. And thank you for joining today. If you're interested in learning more about Falcor 8 or C2 Impact services, please reach out. We are available at falcor8.com and c2impact.com. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Looking forward to our next discussion.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Rowan. Great to see you all.